So if you ever watch finance channels or YouTube, the financial gurus, they always are talking about the next financial investment that you really need to take advantage of. And sometimes you get like a siren too in the background. All right. So one reason why you should ignore people who say buy is they oftentimes are just focused on being entertaining. They aren't really focused necessarily on what makes sense for you. I think far too many people are oftentimes just thinking about this from an entertainment perspective. They're thinking of it mostly from an entertainment perspective. They're not thinking necessarily about what actually is a really good investment, because if you think about it, when you're watching TV or YouTube, what matters more than anything is just making sure that it looks interesting rather than what actually is a super good investment. And it kind of makes sense, like for instance, if I'm talking about a stock that does something cool and it's really hot right now, I'm going to be talking about that on YouTube or the financial channel. But the problem with that is that might not necessarily be the best investment. It might be something that's interesting to talk about. Maybe they do some interesting things, but it might not be going anywhere long term. And the person talking about it might even know for a fact that there's not going to be any chance of it going anywhere. So I think that's a big risk that people need to consider. Another issue is when to sell. If you ever focus on these financial channels, they never talk about when to sell. Never. They never say to sell. And this is true on YouTube. You never really see people talking about selling. Even the financial papers that are really good, they never really bring up sell signals or whether you should be considering selling your stock. That's kind of something you have to learn on your own, because it's really not an entertaining thing to talk about selling stock. So if you get all of your information from financial sites or on YouTube, none of these people are ever going to tell you to sell. So one of the most critical things you got to learn right now is when to sell your stock, because it's really not an entertaining thing. I'm not going to get any hits talking about when to sell a particular stock. In fact, most people, they're going to have to focus on looking at their stock every single day, because that really is the only way that you're actually going to that's really the only way you're going to figure out whether you're going to be able to make a profit is to sell it at the right time, because nobody else is going to give you this information. And far too many people, they want things kind of on a silver platter in terms of, hey, you should be selling this right now. That just doesn't happen. People even look in the comment section for some of their favorite stocks, and they bring it up. Hey, I own this stock. Do you think I should sell it? And so they end up talking to random people, and instead of using their own brain. So my own advice: you're not going to get any really clear, specific financial advice about stocks from watching financial channels or YouTube, but you can get general ideas. Getting the general idea is what you're going to learn from watching these things. Because, for instance, if you're watching a channel like Dave Ramsey, he's not going to really tell you what particular stock to buy. In fact, he doesn't even tell you to buy stocks. But his general ideas, and even my general ideas, will help make you money. But if you're looking for specifics, you're probably looking for the wrong thing, because the stock that you're looking for, maybe I don't want to talk about it, or I don't find it interesting, or maybe I'm wrong. So people who oftentimes make the most money are contrarian, and they think about this on their own, and they just do their own research. So don't be lazy. Do your own research about what stocks are out there. And if you see something that looks sketchy, maybe it is time to sell. I mean, that's the good thing about liquid markets, is that you can always sell. You can always sell it, and you can always buy it back. That's not true if you don't have a public markets. You can't really do that easily. Let's say you invest in your brother's hardware store and you realize, hey, I don't want to own this hardware store. You can't sell it. So, but you can with stocks. Anyway, I look forward to hearing what you think in the comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. It really helps with the Google algorithm, and see you in the next video.